Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Podfluxxx, episode number 38. I'm Kevin Fulton. That's Ricky Reyes. Rick, how's Texas?
It's windy somehow. It's not very cold, but it's freaking feels like a tornado's coming. So
Oh, what a shame. It's fucking windy.
yeah,
I'll tell you something. I'm cold. I'm sick. I'm tired. I'm hurt. And I live with fucking children.
yeah,
Okay? I haven't got a haircut in 3.5 months. Oh, yeah, so I'm just coming off the tail end of a cold. So I apologize for it's sounding like I swallowed an exhaust system, but bear with me here. Let's try and make this quick and painless for the listeners or viewers or however you motherfluxers consume this product. Welcome to episode 38. Rick, we're going to cover a couple things here tonight. We're going to start with the results of the New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom 18, the Dome Show, January 4th, 2024. I did not get a chance to watch this because I did not re-up my subscription to New Japan World, and I didn't feel like resubscribing. I know, I guess you said you had some issues with your app for
yeah.
it, so you missed it. But we've got some news and notes, and we know enough. So we're going to read through results, and then you just let me know what you thought. Now, it was attended by what I have here on Wikipedia is 27,422 in the Tokyo Dome. Is that a full house there?
No, no.
No. That
I what's that?
I said, is that about half a house?
Yeah, yeah. I think they will consider 55 to 65, depending on the setup, as a complete sellout. Um,
Okay.
So yeah, it's like half full. I mean, it's climbed every year since the pandemic. But I think 2020 was their biggest year that they had. That was Jushin Liger's retirement event right before the pandemic, and it was 40,000. So they were
Right.
on a steady climb. I think it jumped, was it like 30 something, and then 40 the next year. So they're slowly climbing back up. They're just trying to rebound from, it was pretty bad in Japan. So uh yeah, so it's been a gradual build for them. I thought that they had a lot of good stories going into this one, so people were at least somewhat excited for a lot of the stuff. But uh yeah, I predict by next year they'll be mid 30s, 35ish, because they seem to be getting more of the foreign guys involved in like bigger storylines. So that usually draws a lot of interest. So, and we'll see with everything that went down this year what it looks like a year from now. So,
All right. Well, let's jump in. So I don't know if this is match. I'm assuming this is match order. So there was a pre-show match that apparently Great O'Khan is gonna get to challenge for the wrestling open weight title. I don't know what they do there for the pre-show, if it was a rumble or just a
yeah,
big deal or whatever. But it's listed as third something like that on the pre-show for the Dome show.
yeah,
Very cool.
It's usually like a Rumble or something
All right.
stupid.
Catch 22 defeated the Bullet Club War Dogs.
Yeah, that was a
I
bit of a
missed you
shock.
there.
What's that? What?
Catch 22 beat the Bullet Club War Dogs. That's Clark Connors and Driller Maloney. Did you think for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight titles, was that the result you thought you were going to see there?
No, it wasn't. Like I said, the Bullet Club needed to come out of this, uh, you know, draped in belts to bring them some more credibility going into this year. But I'm a little bit shocked on that, just because the believe they had just won the belts, or I don't know if that was their first offense technically or second, but it was really a kind of a shock to me. So yeah.
All right. And then in another one we didn't see coming, Tanahashi defeats Zack Sabre Jr. for the New Japan World Television title. That's not something I had on my bingo card for 2024.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I don't see the point in that belt in any way, shape, or form. I'm just hoping that now it frees up, Zack Sabre Jr. to do more, especially with two major title belts out there now that they're going to try to build for. So, yeah, and then it was just a bigger shock to me because it would have seemed fitting for Tanahashi to kind of just start stepping away from in ring, and then he ended up defending the belt, I think, the next day on New Year's Dash. So I don't know how busy he really wants to be as far as like in ring stuff goes, but that belt, they kind of
Right.
have a number of defenses for that championship. So, but hopefully for Zack Sabre Jr., that just means he can dabble a little in the world heavyweight, title picture. I would hope,
Well, we'll see what shakes out there. The next one we've got Yuya Uemura and Yoda Suzuki. Listen, these things don't roll off the tongue to begin with, let alone when you're sick. But the two young kids,
Yeah,
Uemura won.
yeah,
So I don't
yeah,
know if you expected that to go one way or the other.
yeah. I figured he would.
Eh,
I think he's got a lot of potential, so he'll be all right.
Is he the long haired
Like,
one?
no, I think it's the shorter haired one with the trunks, I
Okay.
believe. Um, yeah, he just recently, he was the most recent comeback from his excursion, but I think he'll do good. Couple those two guys will be in the next 5 years, on a climb. So that's their future right there.
And then we got House of Torture, Evil and Red Narito defeated Shota Umino and Kaito Kaimiyomaya
Right.
in another just tag team match. And then a big one here, Tamatanga defeats Shingo uh, for the open weight title. I'm pretty sure that's like his 340th open weight title reign. Congratulations, Tamatanga. 13 minutes. In one you thought was going to go the other way, Phantasmo and Ukulele won both the IWGP tag. they defeated Goto and Yoshihashi.
Yeah, I did not see
So I
that
remember
coming.
you were saying that you thought,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what that means for their team. Because usually Goto's, you know, always a bridesmaid type situation for the major belts. I think he won one G1 and then never won the big one.
yeah,
And he was always kind of like losing in big moments. And I think the crowd kind of gave up on him because he just wasn't winning the big one for whatever reason. They didn't go in that direction. But uh, they might be a team for a little bit longer, and then who knows if they'll start breaking them up to use Goto again as a kind of like a buffer or something, even for Finley if they heat him up at the like maybe in the New Japan Cup or something, he does well, goes off and challenges Finley or something. That's a good
right.
solid match for Finley to get over on. But I got a feeling they might be breaking them up because that was like 3 years in a row they won the tag league, and then Goto took a good amount of last year off, a little leading into the tag league, so they might be gearing him up to do a little bit more, I would imagine. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's actually the way you put it like that, always the bridesmaid. Because I remember Goto flirted with the top of the card for a while,
Yeah.
and then he was out of the picture. So the next one, Desperado beat Takahashi for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. Did you see that one coming?
I kind of thought they would switch it, because Takahashi's had it for I think over a year, I want to say, but uh, I, again, I just can't get with either one of those guys, to be honest. Like, this was like one of the very few times that I didn't really care about the junior belt being defended, because usually it's like one I've always kept an eye on and enjoyed the matches, but yeah, I don't know. I couldn't get in that match. I just really didn't care what they did there.
All right. The next one is where we made some news here. The three-way match for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship, which, to be clear, is not a world championship. But we had David Finlay defeats Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley in 22 minutes. Did you see the table spot?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. With the swanton bomb through on Alex, and his ass just fell in.
Yeah, that was
uh,
like the Terry Funk Ric Flair pile driver.
yeah, yeah. It was not good.
We're
Uh,
just the set or the what match was it where Foley went through the table and just his legs were sticking out when he was
yeah,
mankind?
I can't remember. Yeah, but I know which
Did
one
you
you're
ever
talking.
see that video? It's in a lot of their highlights.
Yeah.
And he's just kicking his feet because he's up just ass out. Um that was pretty funny stuff. What'd you think of this match?
I figured it was gonna be good. With those guys kind of spacing stuff out really well. Um, I thought it wasn't. I definitely didn't think it would be cluttered just because of those styles of guys. I think they understand timing and letting things breathe. And Osprey was super over going into this dome just because I think obviously the crowd knows that this might be his last dome, or they might not see him for a while. So he was the most over guy in there. But uh, went the way, like I said, I predicted it to go, for the reasons why I said was, they need the Bullet Club to be a little bit stronger. So, and then all the post match stuff was interesting, and that's another another hint of, giving Finley something important to do with the belt right away. Makes sense. It'll be what an exciting match that's going to be. Like, I'm really looking forward to
Oh
that.
my
So,
God.
yeah, that's going to be killer.
So let's talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
There was some premeditated, predetermined violence at their media scrum after the show there
Yeah.
with David Finlay and Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler in New Japan. He's got his brother there to carry his bags. Good for him.
Yeah.
What do you think we're going to see out of Ziggler in New Japan?
Man, I am excited for that. That was definitely the one I was hoping that would happen. I'm super excited. The crowd, as they saw him, kind of got louder and louder, like realizing like who it was.
Yeah.
So I was super excited. Uh, I'm even more excited to know that it's going to be with Finley for like a newer championship. And then I don't know if you saw the promo that Ziggler cut while he was holding the belt at the press conference after everything that he said about New Japan and what it means to be there and stuff. When guys like that, are excited, it's exciting to see. It's just as special to me to see that as it was to see AJ in 2014 when he came in, just because of what that he could do and could bring.
Yeah.
So if this turns out to be something, maybe Dolph is really gonna like, much like AJ, just kind of like be there, like, even if it's every other tour, or at least factored in throughout the year. This could be really, really good. So, I mean, it's great for Finley. Like I know Finley from when I was over there, but he's so good that this is going to be a big coming out party for him, because all eyes are going to be on that match when it happens, and if anyone's going to like shine big, we already know what Ziggler can do and what he will do, but watching Finley keep up with him and them push each other will be really, really good.
Yeah, that match is going to be balls to the wall.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see it. And now we got Okada defeats Bryan Danielson under 25 minutes. Well, I guess who won the first one? Danielson beat Okada.
Yes. Yeah.
So it looks like we're heading for a third match there. Where do you do it?
Possibly Forbidden Door 3. Is that what people are claiming? Unless they do it in Japan
I
on a
mean
big show.
that's what would make sense.
Yeah. But he was starting already the next
They're
the
gonna have
next
to figure a
day.
way to split the gate on that.
Yeah, the next day at New Year's Dash, he was getting into it with Zack Sabre Jr., where they were kind of like talking about who's the best submission wrestler. So rumors started with them having a submission match, which could be exciting, which would be obviously like a great match. But you got to do that type of stuff in Japan. It'll be
Yeah.
it'll be better received, I think. They got to stop. I mean, I don't want Brian in AEW at all, but using this as his out to be there less would be great for him, because it'll just help out New Japan. And like I went over the first time with them to New Japan together, and like, I know we were just three dumb kids at the time, but if we could have figured out a way to stay there and really make it work, and be there full time, like we would have. So I know he loves the style of wrestling there, obviously, and it's more appreciated there. So at least he'll be doing these matches there. I would imagine. I don't think New Japan's going to set up angles at the Dome for an AEW show, So anything that was set up that weekend, New Year's Dash and in the Tokyo Dome will be set up for the pay-per-views coming up for them. So it's exciting this year coming.
Weren't we supposed to get Zack Sabre Jr. and Bryan Danielson? Was that the first Forbidden Door?
I think so. I'm almost positive. Yeah, I can't remember what he hurt, but Bryan was out of the first Forbidden Door. But yeah, I thought that was the initial match he would have that night.
Right. All right. It's funny how Bryan always seems to get the summer off with an injury, but I digress. The next match was Naito beat Sonata 25 minutes, IWGP World Heavyweight title, just like you predicted. Walk us through it.
Did you hear the crowd for Naito when on his entrance? Somebody tweeted out like the whole clip of his music starting and him just taking like a full like 5 minutes to walk to the ring. It was insane. I mean, it was like echoing. They were just going nuts for him. Again, Sonata's run was not good, I don't think. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, they did not do him any favors by keeping Okada and Naito so strong on all the cards, all throughout the year, and then sending them around the world, headlining everywhere. So it just seemed like for Sonata, it was like a dud run.
Are you saying him working with Jack Perry didn't get him over as the IWGP Heavyweight Champion?
Exactly. Stuff like that was just, why would you, again, like at some point the wrestlers got to speak up for themselves. If the office is not going to say something seriously, like it was just not good. I hope he gets another run at it. They got to heat him up again because he's, at this point, after losing the belt and having a very lackluster run, he has nothing right now, like nothing at all. It is, I have zero interest in seeing what he's doing next just because he was just there. He just had the belt and he was just around. Granted, Okada and Naito are like the most over wrestlers in the country. I get it, but geez, man, like they just did no favors for him. Like they didn't put him in anything good. They didn't feed him any monsters or any foreign talent that was going to be worthwhile where his name would get out there even more, which is probably what they should be doing now, especially having access to a few really good guys. Like I would have liked to have seen like Sonata against Bryan would have been a great match to have, but
Jack Perry.
But yeah, that's what we got. Right. Exactly. So, it just, I don't know. They got to heat Sonata up. Naito's more over now than he's ever been. So it'll be interesting to see where they go.
Well, I got something coming up here that's going to be very interesting. And what it is Wednesday's AEW Dynamite results and ratings. Okay, so coming off of the World's End pay-per-view, January 3rd episode of AEW Dynamite. First of all, the average viewership was 801,000. Okay? Which was down 5% from the week before at 843,000. So they had 843,000 for their average going into the pay-per-view where they did the reveal on their big angle and they had less people watching their show 4 days later. If you want to go through the breakdown quarter by quarter, we can do that while we go through the results of it. I don't remember all of the results of Dynamite, but I want to talk about a few things. So first of all, the show starts 8:00 time slot. Okay. The first thing we get to kick the show off is Adam Cole and his group. I would not have put that there. What about you?
No, not at all. I mean, you either put it at the 9 o'clock or, it's your closing segment and you bring it up periodically throughout the show. Still to come, we're going to hear from Adam Cole and friends or whatever the fuck they are. That was stupid because the few people that had any interest in it, if that's your main event angle, which it was.
Oh, we're going to get to what they are also.
Yeah.
So, that segment, the first segment, quarter one, 63,000 viewers. All right. That was quarter one, that Adam Cole segment.
Yeah.
They lost 205,000 viewers as soon as that segment was over. And that's why they should have put it at 9 o'clock or at the end of the night. So they shot themselves in the foot immediately. Now, they come out to the ring. The LED board behind them says undisputed. So they're playing off of the WWE Kingdom gimmick of the Undisputed Era, but the announcers are calling them the Undisputed Kingdom. All right, so right there, we've got a terrible name. Right? They've all still got the jackets on with the picture of the devil mask on the back of it. So now we all know who they are, but they still got the stupid Sting-looking mask painted on the back of their jackets. Okay. And then the promo was bad. Did you hear the promo?
I didn't hear any of it, actually, no.
Four days. It took them months to build this angle, and it took them 4 days to shoot their toes off like this little piggy went to market. Right? So Adam Cole stands behind him, and all of his dipshits are around him. And, I use the term dipshits, but in this case, they're all a bunch of dipshits because when they got handed this creative, it should have been, all right, well, you know what? I just got to run to 7-Eleven and then go to the airport. Because this is just, it's nonsensical. The logic that he stated for everything didn't make sense. It was definitely a Tony Khan idea because the premise of the promo sounded like Tony Khan answering questions at one of the the post-media scrums. It danced around what it was supposed to be,
Right.
but never got to the point of what it was. Right? So basically, Adam Cole says Taven and Bennett are the ROH champions, tag champions. Roderick Strong is going to challenge for the international championship. And he goes, and then Wardlow is going to challenge for the AEW world title. And then when he wins it, he's going to give it to me when I'm better. Right? Exactly what they were doing with Luchasaurus and Christian Cage, by the way.
Right.
But Wardlow makes like a face when Adam Cole says that. Okay?
Okay.
So they're 4 days into this group, 3.5 minutes into this group's promo, and they're already planting the seed of dissent. You know, just why? And then he basically sums it all up like, he says, whatever he even says about MJF is irrelevant at this point. All right, MJF is gone, whatever. They had to get rid of, I don't remember what the exact verbiage was, but MJF wasn't their main target. Their target is all the championships, including the one that they let walk out the door with Samoa Joe. So what fucking sense does any of this make?
It makes AEW sense, which is none.
Right? And then as soon as Adam Cole closed his mouth and they went to commercial, 205,000 people said, well, this is fucking stupid, and changed the channel.
Yep.
Oh, and Roddy spoke, and he's still doing
boy.
the obnoxious promo and the obnoxious voice. So they could have retconned that and made it just part of what they were doing.
Yeah.
To get their plot over or whatever.
Yeah.
But instead, they're just going to continue to do that. So thanks for coming, fucking Roderick Strong. So stupid.
They had 4 months and they didn't think of a better promo than this.
Better logic.
As they're coming up with the angle and coming up with ideas, they're not thinking like, what are we going to talk about when it's time? How are we going to introduce everybody? Like, they just came out, did it, and then they were done.
Yeah. Oh, right. I do a little bit of his promo on MJF was him also burying MJF. So kick him in the face while he's on the floor. And it was, MJF was a narcissist. He's really the bad guy. All this terrible shit about MJF, which makes you at home go, you know what? He's kind of telling me the truth. So now it's like, it's just, the whole promo was just so contradictory to what they've actually been doing. It doesn't make any sense. I did forget to say that at the very top of the program, there was a post-match promo from Joe in the locker room after he won the world title. Superstar promo. So that was that. And then at the end of this, Jay White came down to confront Adam Cole because they jumped him, I guess, in the very beginning or whatever.
Oh.
They started getting the heat on Jay White. Then the Guns came down. They were beating the crap out of the Guns. And then the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn came down to make a save. So they ran off the new group like chicken shits on their first night. So that was that. Thanks for coming. Oh, and then Dante Martin and Orange Cassidy had a 20-minute match. So that also didn't help with the loss of 205,000 people.
Why?
Right.
What the fuck? Oh man.
There was a Tony Storm promo where she dumped on New Jersey, thought she was going to New York, and then realized she was in New Jersey. So she said, I'm just leaving and going to New York. So Tony Storm left. There was a Daniel Garcia promo and then a Swerve Strickland pack or a Daniel Garcia package and a Swerve promo to set up their match at the end of the night in the main event. More on that later. All right, here's a positive. Do you know who Mariah May is?
No, but that's the blonde chick, right?
Yes.
Okay. I have no idea who she is now.
All right, she's like the second or I guess the third to Tony Storm. Okay, so she's the blonde chick in the Tony Storm promos. That's not Tony Storm.
Oh.
And she had her first match on Dynamite with a girl named Queen Aminata. All right.
Okay.
First of all, Queen Aminata was good. She was very serviceable. So, I mean, I'm assuming that they're using her as an underneath chick.
Yeah.
But, you know, she got the job done. But Mariah May, she can work. She can speak. She speaks a language that we all understand, which is a plus for AEW.
Right.
And she's easy on the eyes. Right? So they've got something there. She was good.
Yeah.
She was good. She laid her shit in. She threw hard chops. They had a nice little match there. I was pleasantly surprised, and then she cut a promo afterwards, and the promo wasn't bad, which also led to another good thing. So she's doing her promo and she's dumping on New Jersey, and Deonna Purrazzo debuts.
Oh.
Big pop there because they were, I guess, obviously they were in New Jersey.
Oh yeah.
She's from New Jersey.
Right.
She cut a really good promo. We know she can work.
Yeah.
So they've got two positives there.
So Riho will beat both of them at some point soon.
Yeah, everybody lays down for Riho. You know, Riho comes through and is doesn't work for me, brother. Exactly. And or whatever the translation for that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, they'll definitely both lay down for Riho.
Of course.
Yeah. So that was something good. And then we got to a fun Christian Cage segment.
Oh boy.
Where he gave his 2024 State of the Union.
All right.
Right? 3 days in. So let's just get this address in and over with. And he laid into people for booing him and booing Mother Wayne, the matriarch of the patriarchy.
Mother Wayne.
Dude, she's pretty good. And then he started talking about how it's been 200 days since he won the TNT title, which we know is bullshit because he lost it the other night. And when he first got it, it was technically Luchasaurus's belt. And starts talking about how he's been on a historic run of all runs and shit. And then was like, I want to say some thank yous. And he thanks Mama Wayne and he thanks Nick Wayne, and Luchasaurus is standing behind him. And he's like, and obviously last but not least, I'd like to thank myself. And he never acknowledges the fact that Luchasaurus is standing behind him. And I'm assuming that Luchasaurus was making some type of face, right? But the gimmick there is his entire face is covered by a black mask.
Right.
He's got black eyeshadow on, so you can't really tell. So they're laying a seed there. I was nervous that this was going to turn into Luchasaurus going to goozle him,
Yeah.
Nick Wayne getting on him, and then fucking Jungle Boy coming back.
Oh, God.
But I guess we dodged that bullet. But the fans were chanting for Luchasaurus, and they weren't saying kill switch. They were chanting Luchasaurus, but we'll see what happens there. And then Darby Allin and Takeshita had a fucking banger. And I hate to say banger because everybody's like, oh, banger. They had a really good match. Darby Allin, dude, if there's one person on this planet that gives not a shit about a bone in his body, it's Darby Allin, bro. He went for a dive, and I don't know if Takeshita sidestepped it or if he shot over the top of him. Bro, but he just jammed the top of his head, his spine, his shoulders. Everything just compressed right off of that guardrail, dude. But they had a really good match. It was a great match. And then they had a big, stupid eliminator match for the Continental title #1 contendership with Trent, Brian Cage, Bounty Hunter Brian Keith. You seen him?
Oh, yeah. I've wrestled him. He's good.
He's not bad.
Yeah, he's good.
And everyone's favorite El Hijo del Vikingo. This was a big, stupid match. The only person in it I think that came out of it any better was that Brian Keith.
Oh, good.
Because all his shit looked good.
Yeah, he's
He
good.
stood out, because they all look the way they look as far as Brian Cage and Vikingo go. I mean, Trent's a good wrestler. Trent's a really good wrestler. The guy looks good, but they've just gotten him so under that I don't think it matters. And, this Brian Keith is a different looking dude. He looks like he works nice and snug. Trent Beretta won the match, but I think Brian Keith came out of it the best. And then the main event was Swerve Strickland and Daniel Garcia. And they were wrestling, and then wrestling, and then wrestling. And then my DVR cut out because these people don't know how to get their shit in on time. So apparently there was something with Adam Page after the match. I'm assuming that Swerve won. I've got no idea. So I think we're definitely going to be looking at Swerve Strickland and Adam Page, because somebody took a picture of it, and made a meme of a side-by-side with the picture of The Rock and Austin staring each other down, and was like, same thing. And I was like, no, it's not.
But where do we go with Swerve and Page? Because wasn't their last match a death match of some kind where they, where are you going with it?
Right. I don't know.
I mean, how much more intense or magnified of a match are we going to get into? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, right, because he already drank his blood.
Right.
So
what are you going to do next week to top that? it's great that that's the whole point, is that to get them over, but you get them over with just them, not what they did already. They already did everything.
By the way, the 9 o'clock hour, Q4, well, I guess not the 9 o'clock hour, the segment before the 9 o'clock hour. Is that quarter? Whatever. The Mariah May match had 780,000 viewers. The Christian Cage segment, the Darby Allin segment, 770,000 viewers. Okay, the end of Darby Allin and Takeshita, 733,000 viewers. Okay. Q7, Trent Beretta versus Brian Keith versus Viking versus Brian Cage, 730,000. Final segment, main event, Daniel Garcia, Swerve Strickland, 690,000.
Ooh.
Now we know the fan base
Yeah.
is into Swerve Strickland,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Is this a better indicator that people don't want to see Daniel Garcia?
I don't know. It's sometimes I think it's unfair. It a lot of times too, you got to blame the segment before, because people are leaving from what they've already seen,
Yeah.
as opposed to what's announced and what's to come. With that being said, though, it's not like Daniel Garcia is hot, doing anything special, has any momentum, so that's not really fair to Swerve, or Garcia. It really isn't. So it's just they don't know how to lay out their show. That's the problem.
On their YouTube, the Adam Cole promo,
Yeah.
which in the beginning of the ratings breakdown, it says is their highest viewed YouTube video from last week's Dynamite. 782,000 views. Keep that number in mind, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're going to change the channel here. And finally, The Rock has come back again.
Right.
So they're teasing that a former world champion is going to be on Raw last week.
Yes, they did.
And I don't know if you saw the segment. First of all, what year is it? Okay.
Right.
Because we got an Awesome Truth tag team match. Right? And we got a Rock promo. Which, funnily enough, the last time we had an Awesome Truth tag team match,
yes,
and the Rock promo,
right,
CM Punk lost his WrestleMania main event to the Rock that year also.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then he quit. So they bring out Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And I think people actually cried.
Yeah.
I was like, this is goddamn brilliant, because I didn't know where they were going.
Right.
I thought we were going to get Andrade.
Oh.
When he started running down US, because I was like, all right, I know Andrade's, follow my line of thought here. I know Andrade's Mexican.
Right.
But he's a former US champion.
Right.
So I was like, maybe. It's Jinder, so I mean they're not going to bring back somebody huge for Jinder.
Right.
Because you never want to hinder the Jinder. And then The Rock's music hits, and the place goes retarded.
Mm-hmm.
Just extra chromosomes flying everywhere. Full-fledged retarded. And he does his promo, yada, 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 all his Rock stuff. We get a spine buster. We get an elbow. And then he's like, I'm going to go eat dinner tonight. Should I sit in a booth? Should I sit at the bar? Or should I sit at the head of the table? Right? So there's the veiled threat to Roman Reigns to build WrestleMania. Okay? Now, before we get to that, The Rock showing up on Monday Night Raw. Would you like to know what that segment did?
Yes.
2,154,000 million, however the numbers. I never claimed to be a mathologist, right? But 2.154 million people watched that motherfucker hinder the Jinder. All right. Which was like little over a 400,000 viewer bump for that episode of Raw, which averaged 1.751 million. So 1.75 million people watched it to begin with.
Right.
Okay. And then almost another 500,000 people were like, oh, Dwayne, and turned that shit on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That got, at the time this article was written that I got this information from, that was on the 4th. 13 million views on Instagram. Okay. 4.9 million views on YouTube. So the thing from one show that everybody's talking about, it's got 5 million views on YouTube. And then the thing from the other show that everybody's talking about has 750,000 views on YouTube. Okay.
Right.
300,000 more people. All right. Excuse me. 100,000 more people watch the Adam Cole video. No, I was right the first time. Yeah, 3. Math, numbers. Hey. 300,000 more people watch the Adam Cole video on YouTube than actually change the channel to watch The Rock live. Okay. So, road to WrestleMania, Rock and Roman, how we getting there?
I think it's going to be Elimination Chamber.
You think so?
The only reason why I say that is WrestleMania is doing so well on its own, and we're not even, I mean, it's the very first week of January, and we got The Rock. So I feel like, what are you going to do with The Rock for 3 months?
Right.
I mean, you know, he can't finally come back to every fucking state leading up to WrestleMania. I feel like it would be better. I would think it would be better to do it in Australia. It'll bump the number up for attendance that it needs to. I think WrestleMania is going to sell itself like it usually does, but with Roman and Cody doing part 2, Seth and Punk on the first night, I would imagine that's enough to hit record numbers all the way around.
Oh, you're saying the match is going to be at Elimination Chamber?
Yes, yeah, in Australia. Because it's a stadium.
That's how Cody gets into the main event at WrestleMania?
It's a stadium that holds 70,000, and I think they're at 40 right now. They could do 70,000 in Australia a month before they do 80 and 80 each night at WrestleMania the next month. I don't know. I feel because they're also looking at it like trying to grow their international market clearly, because now we're doing pay-per-views in different countries.
Aren't they doing one in France?
Or Germany or something. I heard Germany.
Okay.
There was, and then I did hear that as well. But I mean, they're really like loading it up around the world, right? And making these pay-per-view events or whatever you call them now, a really big deal. So I don't know. If I were it's like, what are you going to do with The Rock for 3 months? You know, it's just, he's not going to be there often. You would wear that pop out before WrestleMania, the more he keeps coming out, right?
Yep.
It's special when he does. You can do a few weeks before Elimination Chamber. Obviously, he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna wrestle before then. I wouldn't have him wrestle before then, but you can tie up all the loose ends with Roman kind of closing everything off and setting it all up for Elimination Chamber. It would make better sense that way, because I feel like WrestleMania is already, night 1 and 2 is already booked up. I just wouldn't stretch out The Rock for 3 months. I mean, that doesn't make sense to me.
All right. Backlash is going to be in France.
Oh, okay. After WrestleMania.
Yes.
Okay.
So now, though, knowing that information, right? Do you do something with Rock in Elimination Chamber, at Elimination Chamber in Australia? Put the match on at WrestleMania. And then do something in Backlash in France with The Rock also, coming off of WrestleMania. That way you get 70,000, 80,000, 80,000. And then I don't know what building that's going to be in. I'm going to try to find out right now. But if that motherfucker holds 80,000 also, why not? LLDC Arena. It's like an NBA arena.
Nah.
So
No need. Yeah, no need. No. You do it in Australia. You do Rock and Roman in Australia, and you force people to watch that pay-per-view like at whatever time it's going to be on, because I think they said it'll be like 4 a.m. or something like that.
Yeah.
So people will get up and immediately, first thing they do that day is pop on the network, and it's going to increase everything all the way around, right? Because you're going to either get up really early to follow it, or first thing in the morning, the activity or the usage of that app is going to be really high or really early for like no reason, and it's going to be due to The Rock, you know. So
well, I'm gonna watch that shit at 8:00 at night, like a pay-per-view ought to be watched.
Damn it.
What I'm wondering, okay. So, first Monday Night Raw of the year, they bring The Rock out. Okay? I'd like to imagine, I don't know this to be true, right? But it makes sense to me that a bunch of people watched Monday Night Raw on Monday and went, "Oh shit, The Rock." And immediately went online on Tuesday and bought WrestleMania tickets.
True.
How long do you think they're going to wait before they let us know if this is going to be at WrestleMania or if this is going to be a Backlash?
Well,
Because I'd be pissed. I mean, I wouldn't be pissed, but
yeah.
I'd be like, Fuck, I bought tickets for WrestleMania because I thought The Rock was going to be there.
I mean, I'm not saying, it's possible he's still there, you know. Maybe he like wishes CM Punk good luck on night one or something. I would have.
Yeah. So, I was watching it with my buddy last week, and he hit the spine buster, and he hits the ropes, and I look over at my buddy. I was like, "Ready? Here comes CM Punk with a leg lariat," and
Yeah.
he wasn't there. He wasn't there. Yeah. He wishes CM Punk good luck on night one. Finishes Cody's story on night two. Don't worry, kid. I'll finish this story for you. So what do they? Obviously, Roman has to beat him. This is the last thing I want to say about this. Is Roman has to beat him, right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think, and here's the thing, is when Roman was going into last year's WrestleMania, he was obviously really hot because of the angles that they did, with Sammy and stuff in Montreal the month before. So he had some good steam. But this is how you bring in Roman that much hotter, coming off a huge win off The Rock, on the other side of the world. There's all the, sizzle that you want there, because the match with Cody and Roman is going to be pretty average and kind of, good at best, but they need to tell some sort of story that Roman is on such a high that it's even more impossible for Cody to actually beat him, and then you do some sort of, injury angle. Maybe Cody tweaks his knee or something, and then he's on the dusty cell. And then you do a couple little swerves, and then Cody hits it, and that's it, and then, you're off to the races with Cody. But yeah, I totally think that The Rock and Roman is in Australia at Elimination Chamber.
Does Cody beat Roman at WrestleMania?
I would like Roman to keep it just to piss everybody off. That's me, but I also don't want to. I wouldn't want to burn out Cody, because if Cody doesn't beat him 2 years in a row, that's pretty much, he's dead on arrival at that point. Like,
Yep.
How does he even rebound from that? It's kind of turns into like the LA Knight type situation. You can keep him in the main event, but he's almost an afterthought, like the Rumble, right? So we got the 4-way, it's like LA Knight is the odd man out. Chances are he's the guy that's going to
dropping the fall on that one.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think we all know who's taking the fall, who's losing that. You can't have AJ lose. He's just coming back. You got to heat him up for Mania. He's going to be another one of those main event style matches that'll steal the show on WrestleMania. You can't beat Orton. Orton's, too hot right now. So LA Knight's the guy. And you don't want to do that to Cody, I don't think, because then you're kind of killing off your baby faces, It's just kind of stupid. So I don't know. I don't. Just because it would cause so much shit, I would like Roman to win. But if it is Cody and Roman, it's got to be Cody's year. It has to. Like, there's no way that they would beat him twice, right? Like,
right.
I would hope not.
Well, the topic for next week is how much Dusty is too much Dusty.
Exactly.
But we're gonna shut this down. Rick, thanks for bearing with me here tonight. Everybody at home, sorry that you had to listen to me sound like this. This has been episode 38 of Podfluxxx. Motherfluxers, we'll see you later. I'm going to run the gimmick.